December 4th, 2024. The streets of Midtown Manhattan were bustling with the usual morning rush when chaos erupted outside a luxury hotel. A high-profile executive had just been gunned down in broad daylight. The victim? Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, one of the most powerful figures in the American healthcare industry. The shooter? A mysterious and seemingly unassuming young man named Luigi Mangione. 5 days later, authorities arrested the 26-year-old in a small Pennsylvania town. His arrest raised more questions than answers. Who was Luigi Mangione? Why did he target Brian Thompson? Was this a random act of violence, a personal vendetta, or something much bigger? What followed was a bizarre unraveling of events, a manifesto, a nationwide debate, and a trial that captivated the nation. Today, we dive deep into the mystery of Luigi Mangione. But before we get into it, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss more deep dives into true crime unsolved mysteries and shocking cases like this one. To understand how Luigi Mangione became the most wanted man in America, we first need to look at his past. Born on May 6, 1998 in Towson, Maryland, Luigi Mangione grew up in an affluent Italian-American family. His father was a well-known neurologist and his mother worked as a professor at a prestigious university. From a young age, Mangione showed exceptional intelligence. He excelled in academics, winning numerous awards in mathematics and computer science. By 2016, he graduated valedictorian from the elite Gilman School. His next stop? The University of Pennsylvania, where he pursued engineering and computer science. He later earned his master's degree, focusing on AI and data systems, a field that could have made him a millionaire in Silicon Valley. But something was off. Friends and professors later described Mangione as introverted, highly intelligent, but deeply frustrated. He reportedly suffered from chronic back pain and struggled to connect with others socially. By 2024, instead of working for a top tech firm, he had disappeared from public life. No one knew where he was or what he was planning. That is, until December 4th, when he became a household name. December 4th, 2024. It was a cold morning in Midtown Manhattan, and Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, had just left the Lotte New York Palace Hotel, where he was attending an exclusive investor meeting. Dressed in a tailored suit, he stepped outside, greeted by the usual hustle and bustle of New York City. Then it happened. A single gunshot rang out. Thompson collapsed onto the pavement, blood pooling beneath him. Panic erupted as people screamed and ran for cover. Witnesses described the shooter as calm and methodical, a man in a dark hoodie and a face mask. He didn't run. He walked away, blending into the chaos before disappearing completely. When paramedics arrived, Thompson had already succumbed to his injuries. A .45 caliber bullet had torn through his chest, piercing his heart. The attack was precise, suggesting a high level of planning. Surveillance footage showed the shooter walking away without hesitation, but his face was covered. The NYPD launched a massive manhunt, scouring hours of footage, tracking phone pings, credit card activity, and social media footprints. The case gained nationwide attention. Who would kill one of the most powerful men in healthcare? And more importantly, why? As investigators combed through Thompson's personal and professional life, theories ran wild. Some speculated it was a corporate hit, orchestrated by a rival company. Others believed it was a disgruntled employee or patient seeking revenge on the healthcare giant. But no solid leads emerged until forensic experts analyzed cell phone data and security footage from nearby businesses. A breakthrough came on December 6th. when investigators traced a suspicious online purchase of a three-dimensional printed firearm back to a user under the alias Cicero22. The IP address led them to an Airbnb rental in Philadelphia, booked under the name Luigi Mangione. Suddenly, this once unknown man became the prime suspect in a national murder case. The evidence was overwhelming. His credit card activity, Google searches, and a deleted post on an anonymous forum where he allegedly ranted about corporate greed in the healthcare industry. But there was one problem. He had vanished. For 5 days, Luigi Mangione was a ghost. Authorities scrambled to find him as the country watched in suspense. Where had he gone? What was he planning next? The answer would come on December 9th, in a place no one expected. December 9th, 2024. 5 days had passed since the shocking assassination of Brian Thompson, and Luigi Mangione was still nowhere to be found. The FBI and local authorities had tracked his movements from Manhattan to Philadelphia, but after that, nothing. It was as if he had disappeared into thin air. Then, in the most unexpected twist, Mangione was caught at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, a quiet town far from the high-tech world he once thrived in. An employee recognized his face from the news and quickly alerted authorities. Within minutes, the restaurant was surrounded. When police entered, Mangione was calmly eating a burger, showing no signs of resistance. He was carrying a fake ID, a burner phone, and a duffel bag filled with cash, leading authorities to believe he was planning to flee the country. But the most shocking discovery was what they found in his motel room nearby. A three-dimensional printed firearm, handwritten notes on UnitedHealthcare executives, and a manifesto that would send shockwaves through the nation. When authorities searched Luigi Mangione's belongings, they discovered something disturbing. A 23-page handwritten manifesto detailing his hatred for the American healthcare system. Titled The Price of Life, the document described Mangione's deep resentment toward the corporate greed of insurance companies. He accused UnitedHealthcare and its executives of profiting off human suffering, claiming that millions of Americans were dying due to overpriced treatments and denied claims. In one chilling excerpt, he wrote, "They don't care about us. They don't care if you live or die as long as their stockholders are happy. If a life can be saved but the cost cuts into their bottom line, they let you die. They are murderers in suits. It's time they felt the pain they've caused others." Investigators also found search histories, financial records and notes detailing his surveillance of Brian Thompson. It was clear this was not a random act of violence, but a calculated ideological assassination. But was Mangione a deranged lone wolf, or did he have a deeper, more personal reason for targeting Thompson? Some speculated that he or someone close to him had been denied life-saving treatment by UnitedHealthcare. As the manifesto leaked online, public opinion became sharply divided. Was Mangione a terrorist, or was he a vigilante exposing a corrupt system? The debate was just beginning. As news of Luigi Mangione's arrest spread, social media exploded. But what shocked many wasn't just the crime itself, it was the reaction. Almost immediately, thousands of people began voicing support for Mangione. Hashtags like #FreeMangione and #HealthcareJustice started trending, with users claiming that he had only done what politicians refuse to do: hold insurance giants accountable. Some called him a domestic terrorist, but others saw him as a modern-day vigilante. Online forums and Reddit threads debated whether Mangione was mentally unstable or simply a man pushed to the edge by an unjust system. Some even compared him to real-life anti-heroes like John Brown or Edward Snowden. More surprisingly, A GoFundMe campaign was started to fund his legal defense, raising over $500,000 in just a few days. Prominent activists and public figures spoke out, with some arguing that while violence wasn't the answer, Mangione's case exposed a real problem in the healthcare system. The government quickly cracked down on pro-Mangione discussions, labeling them as dangerous rhetoric. But the conversation wasn't going away. If anything, his manifesto had sparked something bigger than himself. As the trial approached, the world waited to see what would happen next. Luigi Mangione was formally charged with first-degree murder, terroristic threats, and illegal possession of a firearm. Given the high-profile nature of the case, the federal government stepped in, adding domestic terrorism charges, which meant he could face the death penalty. His defense team, funded in part by his growing online support base, argued that Mangione was not a terrorist but a disillusioned activist who had been driven to violence by a corrupt system. They pushed for an insanity defense, claiming he suffered from severe mental distress due to chronic pain and personal struggles. Prosecutors, however, painted a different picture. They called him a cold-blooded killer, emphasizing the months of planning that went into the attack. They pointed to his meticulous research, 3D printed gun, and surveillance of Thompson, arguing that this was not an impulsive act but premeditated murder. The trial quickly became one of the most controversial in recent history, with protests erupting outside the courthouse. Some demanded justice for Brian Thompson, while others saw the trial as a cover-up to protect the healthcare industry. As the case moved forward, one question remained: would the jury see Mangione as a martyr or a murderer? The case of Luigi Mangione is more than just a sensational crime story. It's a reflection of a nation divided. Was he a murderer, or was he a man who saw no other option in a broken system? His trial is still ongoing, but no matter the verdict, one thing is clear. His actions ignited a nationwide conversation about the ethics of the healthcare industry, corporate greed, and the desperation of those failed by the system. Some call him a terrorist, others call him a revolutionary. But no matter which side you're on, the name Luigi Mangione won't be forgotten anytime soon. What do you think? Was this a cold-blooded assassination, or was Mangione trying to make a statement? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more true crime stories just like this. Thanks for watching.